What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. Welcome to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate you guys for all of your love and support. Over 1,500 episodes and 500,000 streams worldwide. None of this would be possible without you guys, so I thank you so very much. And yes, we are still dealing with pandemic life. You know, we're still dealing with some COVID stuff, but we're making our way around with it. And today I have the very talented founder and CEO of Intuitive Beaute with me today. Hey, Miss Lady.
Hi, I'm excited to be on your platform. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. So, how did Intuitive Beaute come to be?
Intuitive Beaute is what I like to call my alter ego. I've always been an intuitive person. I just recently, over the past few years, started to embrace my intuitive side and become public with it. Mm-hmm. So Intuitive Beaute was birthed through me feeling other people's energy and being able to feel people very deeply and wanting to help. Once people find out that I'm intuitive and that I can help them, and even if they don't say certain things, but if I allow them to know that, hey, I can see through your mask, so let's just get to the bottom of things and work on it to build, together. That's pretty much where it was birthed from, and it's been amazing. It's been an amazing process in building my coaching platform as well as my podcast, my YouTube, and things like that.
Yes. And how did things start off with you and crystal work?
Wow. So crystals are things I've observed over the years, mm-hmm. but I'm sure like most people, I thought it was a part of, quote unquote voodoo or something bad. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until I went through certain spiritual awakenings where I started to research the origin of what voodoo was and what crystals are and what some of these things that are attached to fear, fear-mongering emotions that we think certain things are. So basically, I got a crystal from a friend. It was a rose quartz crystal. Mm-hmm. And I've had several crystals, but in this particular situation, I got really sick. I had acute pancreatitis. Mm-hmm. I found myself in despair because if you know anything about acute pancreatitis, there's nothing that really cures it. You're on a liquid diet. I was on a liquid diet for 2 months. Yeah. Throughout that process, I built my faith up. Being intuitive, God always spoke to me, but this time I couldn't distract myself. I had to just sit in the hospital bed and listen. Yeah. Upon listening, God instructed me on how to heal myself. I placed the crystal over my pancreas area, which is associated with the solar plexus chakra. Right. I played a solar plexus chakra binaural beat, and the rest is history. I followed the instructions, and I've been living that way ever since. When you experience a supernatural healing, you become obedient, you open your eyes to certain things. So that was the spark that opened up my eyes for holistic healing.
Now, you said something a little bit earlier about feeling people's emotions and being an empath, essentially. So with everything, with everything that we're dealing with now with COVID-19, how do you deal, or how would you advise someone who's an empath to deal with everything that's being thrown at us?
The way I coach my clients and what I would tell the listeners is the biggest thing is everything can be associated with a spectrum. Mm. So there is an empath on one end of the spectrum, right? But there's also a narcissistic person on the other end. Essentially, an empathic person is someone that is able to feel very deeply and allow themselves to be completely open. Mm. A narcissistic person is somebody that's completely closed off. If they do associate with other people, there's no emotion attached to it. Mm. So when you think about life, there has to be equal balance. There can't be one end of the spectrum. So I would tell people that associate themselves with being empaths to gain boundaries so that they can find their way back to the middle, because it is not your goal to just feel so deeply and allow it to overtake you. You have to make sure you put in your own health first, spiritually, mentally, and physically. So if there's someone in a relationship with you, platonic or romantic, that is draining you and pulling you on one end of the spectrum or the other, that is a relationship that has to end. So if you have people around you that are keeping themselves in a low vibration. Every time you talk to them, they're talking about the worst that could possibly happen. Mm-hmm. Even before COVID, we all know those people. Mm-hmm. You know, and those situations, keeping yourself in a low vibration keeps you in a situation to attract more lower vibrational experiences. It compromises your immune system. You keep your vibration high, you focus your intentions on the outcome you want, that is what you will receive. Yes. And you cannot allow fear to stand in your way. You know, I'm not a religious person, I'm a very spiritual person. Yes. And I believe that along my journey, I'm a bit unorthodox, right? So I use crystals, I use sage, I do readings and such, but before I embraced these aspects of how I decided that I felt comfortable to praise God, I was religious. And in religion, you know, it works for some people, but for me it didn't work because it kept me in a low vibration of fear, of feeling like if I didn't talk to the pastor or if I didn't go to church, that I was missing something. When I learned how to hook up to God directly, my life changed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the biggest thing I could tell the empath, the biggest thing I could tell the listeners, at the bare minimum, keep your vibration high. Your vibration high, or you maintaining it as high as you can, you have no choice but to experience higher vibrational experiences. You keep your vibration low, you have no choice but to experience lower vibrational experiences.
Absolutely, that's truth. You speaking truth, sister, because I, as maturity, a lot of this stuff comes with maturity because I've noticed that I can always speak for myself is that, you know, the energy and the people that you keep around you, like you said, if there's somebody that, you know, it's a Debbie Downer, they're always negative, eventually that's going to seep into you and you're not going to be able to see the forest for the trees. So I'm with you 100% on that.
Definitely.
What would you say has been your proudest moment with your company?
One of my proudest moments was, so I have a group on Facebook. If you're interested, you're more than welcome. If you find me on my website or any of my social medias, I promote my group a lot. I have a group on Facebook of women and men. And one of my most proudest moments was when everyone came together to just show me gratitude for what I pour into that group. You know, being that I'm an empath or I'm a person that's sensitive to energy and read energy well, you know, in relationships with people, there's the ups and the downs. You can feel when a person, you know, is thinking positive about you or negative. I feel that other end of the line, right? Yeah. So the proudest moment was when people were telling me that they appreciate the fact that when we had those ups and downs, that we were able to have real conversations about it, and I'm transparent with healing. Right. You know, I have not stopped my healing for the sake of helping others. If I heal from a broken place, I'm able to show others how to do that. Right. If I stop my healing and I focus on allowing my ego and the power or the attention that I get from helping people to grow, I would not be able to help people from a loving place. So my proudest moment is when people recognized it and started reflecting that love back to me. That's when I knew that I was really becoming one with what I am and attracting it, and it mirrored into me and the people that follow me.
I love it. I love that. Your vibration is good. Your energy is good. I'm feeling it. Yes. Come through.
Thank you. I do my work.
Yeah.
I do my work.
And it takes, like you said, I mean, you know, it takes a lot. Like I said, it's coming to a place of maturity. And I think, and I was talking with somebody earlier today about growth. And if you're in the same place emotionally, mentally that you were 10 years ago, you need some work to do. You got a lot of catching up to do because you're supposed to grow. You're not supposed to be the same person, but also you're supposed to be better. You should be trying to improve yourself. And like you said, always just being in control of where you're at vibrationally, where you're at. I love that. Last but certainly not least, what advice would you offer to any person out there that has a dream on their heart, but they just haven't acted out on it yet?
What I would say is to that person, because I've been that person before, and the way I've been able to transmute that was to first realize that I did not want to just exist. Right. I wanted to serve my purpose. I've always had that I agree with you on maturity, but I feel like it's more so of, we all have a role to play. One of my good friends always says that we all have a role to play. Yeah. It's either you're going to take responsibility and play your role and rise to the occasion, or you're going to allow yourself to just sit and observe others pass you by. So I had to decide that I wanted to be a key player in my own life. I spent many years observing others pass me by, and I've spent many years being stagnant. That causes spiritual, mental, and physical sickness.
Yeah.
If you're finding yourself stuck in your life, most of the time, though, it's because of our connections with people we allow. We allow a lot of relationships to stick around because of, this person did this for me in the past, or what are they going to think? What are people going to think? You gotta get to a place where you start worrying about what people think, and you start living for you. Yeah. Start dressing how you want to dress. Start looking how you want to look. Start expressing yourself and being unapologetically yourself. Be the change that you wish to see. I had to literally grow and learn through trial and error, and I'm still learning how to be the person that I want to attract. And it's a process. We all get closer and closer to it, and we experience better experiences, but the only way you're going to get there is if you really take a hard look at yourself in the mirror. Right. I tell all my clients this on the first the first session. Look in the mirror at yourself. Because somebody told me to do that. And when I looked in the mirror and I couldn't look at myself, that's when I knew I had work to do. You can't look at yourself in the mirror long enough and speak life to yourself. That's how you know you have work to do. Start there. Start with talking to yourself in the mirror. And eventually, you'll be able to speak with confidence in the world and present yourself the way you want to, and you won't care about what other people think, because that will grow. That seed that you're planting in that mirror will grow, and you will have the confidence. Balancing your chakras. Yeah. That was another thing. I learned so much about different health issues that were associated with, our chakras being out of alignment. Everything starts in the spiritual. If it manifests as a physical sickness, it started as a spiritual sickness. Go in meditation, go in prayer, and ask God to show you and guide you on what you can do to improve yourself. Eat foods that are associated with helping, those chakras. With the pancreas, I learned that my solar plexus chakra was definitely out of balance, and it was a generational thing. It was a generational pattern. All of the women in my family had distended stomachs. All of them had issues with confidence. All of them did not want to stand into their power. And I don't want to say all, but what I observed was a good amount of them, enough for me to know that I picked up that trait. But once I started aligning my chakras, everything else took a process and eventually grew and blossomed into what I am today.
I love it. I love it. Intuitive Beaute, let everyone know the best way for them to reach you and to connect.
The best way to reach me is my website, intuitivebeauty.com. That's intuitive spelled regularly, and INTUITIVE. Beauty is so different. I'm from Louisiana. I have a history, family history of being Creole, so I embrace that French aspect of beauty being spelled B as in boy, EAUTE. Intuitivebeauty.com is where you can reach me. You can get my podcast. You can get my crystal jewelry there. Sage, right now, I have a mission going right now. With my nonprofit that I'm starting. It's called We're All Connected. A lot of us as adults, and since I've been healing and working with other adults in healing, we're all healing childhood issues. But just think, if we gave these tools that we're all learning about now to help us with our healing, if we give these tools to children, what type of community will we live in? Yeah. So my nonprofit will offer yoga, meditation, sound therapy. I will speak and give this knowledge to children, because we all know children are very bright. You have a conversation with a child, and instead of thinking like, oh, they're too young for me to tell them the truth, children know, they feel. Yeah. Up until about 7, they can feel different things. They're like halfway in the spiritual and halfway here. They still know a lot of things that, that we have forgotten as adults.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you.
So if you want to support my mission, please, I'm working with Mama Mai from the Real Daytime Talk Show. She's helping me push this. I created a jewelry collection with her. If you purchase a jewelry collection, all the proceeds go to the formation of the nonprofit. Yeah. If you want to just support, I have a GoFundMe page where you can definitely support. All of that is everywhere, all over social media. I'm Intuitive Beauty on Instagram. I'm Intuitive Beauty on Facebook. Intuitive Beauty is also my group name on Facebook as well. So I appreciate you so much for having me on your show. And if I could just end with this message, I want to just let people know that don't allow fear to prevent you from understanding something that you don't understand. At least do the research and figure it out, and then make your decision to decide whether you want to align yourself with it.
I love it. Intuitive Beauty, thank you. Thank you so very much. We appreciate you. Much more success to you and beyond, and your team and everybody that's helping this mission to come to fruition. It's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face, you tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.